Okay, good evening everyone. My name is Sarah Brindley, I'm the Director of Corporate Services and Acting CEO for this evening, as Brendan has sent his apologies, he's on leave. As you'll notice, the seat next to me is empty, so the Mayor is himself on leave, and unfortunately the Deputy Mayor is quite sick today, so unable to attend. So the first thing I'm going to do is request councillors to propose a motion to nominate their temporary chair for this evening.
I'll nominate Councillor Clark to be the temporary chair.
And I'll second that.
We're going to vote.
Can I have everyone to vote? Thank you. So,
Good evening all. Before opening them, or before acknowledging traditional owners, Clause 91.4 of the Governance and Meeting Conduct Local Law provides the following. This public meeting is being recorded to improve access to the meeting for our community. The recording will be retained by Council in accordance with Council's legal obligations. As a visitor in the public gallery, your presence may be recorded. I wish to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and to the elders of other communities who may be with us today. The opening prayer. Almighty God, we humbly ask Thee to bless and guide this council in its deliberations, so that we may truly preserve the welfare of the people whom we serve. Amen. Members present, members of the council who are present. No absentees. Acceptance of apologies and granting of leave of absence. Someone move the apologies for Councillor Ruiz and Councillor Curry. Move Councillor Fuller, second Councillor Benton. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Motion's carried. Conflict of interest disclosures. Any conflict of interest? Presentation of reports. Officers' reports. Community wellbeing. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you. Earlier this year, Council, along with the community, was made aware that the Jazz Festival for 2019 would be postponed. In order to fill the events calendar within Wangaratta, Council put out an expression of interest for event organisers to submit proposals for an event that could take place on that weekend in Wangaratta. After an extensive process of going through evaluation of these proposals, there is a recommendation before Council for one of those proposals to be selected to happen as part of the 2019 calendar of events. There is a recommendation before Council.
Councillor Fuller,
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move a motion that Council selects move a motion that Council selects Dallas Frasca and Renee Delahunty, Hitched to the Sticks, as a successful applicant following the ELI process for the marquee music event.
Before asking members of the gallery, I'd like you to speak to it. Johnny.
Thank you. So, as I said, this process was put in place following the announcement that the Jazz Festival will be postponed for this year. And as the board for the Jazz Festival undertook some strategic planning in planning for next year's event, which would be the 30th year, Council put out an expression of interest process that outlined a number of factors that we were looking for in terms of attracting a large marquee event to the municipality. A significant focus of the expression of interest was around what the event would contribute to our local community, so how engaged community members would be. Also, the appeal that the event would have in attracting visitors and tourists to our region on that weekend, and hopefully generate new interest from new people in returning to the area. The process of evaluation of the proposals undertook a number of different levels. We shortlisted to 3 from the original 6, and those final 3 were all interviewed in person with a selection panel. We looked for a number of different elements as part of the proposal and the interview process. They were around the event concept, so how different the event was, how much it aligned with the priorities and needs of our community, how much we thought that it would generate interest and excitement for our community and bring together the chance for people to socialise and connect. We also looked at the timeliness of it. We recognised that the Melbourne Cup weekend, whilst it's still several months away in the event world, is actually very close. And the capacity of event organisers to pull together such a large-scale event and attract artists that we believed would be of significance for our community. We also looked for relevant experience, so the capacity of the event organisers to deliver a festival or a large-scale event, and their ability to do it within the quite tight timelines. We also looked for a strong component of local content, both at an artist level, but also working with community groups and local individuals to build a very strong community spirit and also to generate benefit across our broader community. Importantly for us, we also looked at how prepared the event organisers were across a number of different areas, predominantly around risk management, so events with large scale of people and a number of different elements, including traffic management and management of artists, requires a strong focus on risk management and planning for the future. So this is one of the areas that we really focused on, particularly when we looked at their proposals in detail. The recommendation before council and the events, this will be the 3rd time that it's returning to our area, and there has been significant growth and interest. A number of the events have sold out from a ticketing perspective in the past, and they have the capacity to bring artists that we believe would be a strong draw card both for our community and visitors to the area.
Before calling for a second of the motion, I'll throw it open to people in the gallery. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? Normally what happens is that once the recommendation is put that before the council move the motion, we give the people in the gallery the opportunity to speak to the motion, and that's what I've done there tonight, so that the name could be mentioned, that I've asked Councillor Bussell, who was on the selection panel, to actually move that motion, but I haven't got a seconder yet. So members of the gallery would like to speak to it or ask questions. If they come up to the front, and Ellen, would you help to press the button?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, acting Mr. Mayor. My question is, I'd just like to know the economic value that will be going out of the town. Like the people that are putting on this Dallas Frasca +6, was that correct? I didn't catch the name.
Renee Delahunty is her business partner.
Right. How much administration money will be going out of Wangaratta? Like you must have had a budget.
Yes, there's a budget, and there's certainly a component of event management that Dallas and her business partner and those involved will take. One of the things that we did look at specifically was around, like I said, the local content. So whilst there is a component of it, I don't have the figure on the top of my head what the actual event management component of it is, but it is actually quite small in the scheme of the large event. Most of the fees of the event will be going towards payment for artists and the risk management component of it as well. So there's a large component that goes to the attraction of artists, and some of those will be local.
So you don't have a breakdown of the budget as far as management and infrastructure like hire of equipment and all that?
Yeah, so we do have that, yeah, so we have, and they have gone through that, and there is local hiring of marquees and equipment and sound equipment and all of those different components that will stay local. Their actual event management component obviously will be paid directly to them, but it's quite small.
So will that ever be made public?
No, so that's a commercial in confidence. They're the business that we've engaged, and they have a number of different elements of that is run within the design of their own business. But we did have a strong focus in the assessment of making sure that there was local suppliers right through from marquees through to artists and food providers and traffic management and all those different elements. So.
Right, okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the gallery?
Yes, Ken, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Davison, just your name and your address, or not your address, but your CV.
Thank you. My question is not really a question. Can you please tell us just what is the event and where is it being held? Can we do that?
Yes, yes. Speak about it.
Yeah. All right, I think that we can take the second now. So, would someone like to second the motion? Seconded by Councillor Benton. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. Those in favour, Councillor Puzzle.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was a fairly long process of meetings between the Mayor and myself and Jamie's staff, and I thought it was a fairly rigorous process, more than I anticipated, and we had to go through to make sure that these people could deliver what we actually wanted, and I have to say I was pretty happy with that decision. And I'd then like Jamie to explain, to answer your question, Mr. Mayor, because I think that's important.
Any other councillors wish to speak? Jeb. John.
Yes, so a hitch to the sticks is a concept that came up, was created by Dallas, I should say. So Dallas is a Wangaratta local she grew up here, and she is a musician herself and has travelled the world, and one thing that she is incredibly passionate about is around people within our region having access to high quality music events, but also our local people having the ability to play on stage in front of their own community and have development opportunities as young musicians within their hometown. It's something that she believed our community really has the capacity to build as a strength. The event itself is a number of different elements of it. One is around bringing up people from Melbourne to our region to celebrate all that is great about here, and to do so with the draw card of some significant music artists in a great location surrounded by great food and wine and produce. The important part of it is that it's also around opening it up for people in our community to access those kinds of music events that ordinarily wouldn't happen here. So big artists in fantastic spots, and again having it open and affordable for everyone who lives here. The actual artists haven't yet been confirmed, given that the event has only just been approved by council. But some of the artists that happened last year were Killing Heidi, Kate Sobrano sold out at Moyu, Tim Rogers and Jebediah. So large events, large artists that we know can sell out for different venues. The event itself is actually multiple events, so there'll be one on the Friday night, one on Saturday, and then a breakfast on the Sunday morning, all of which will be surrounded around music and high quality food and produce. So the actual artists will be locked in very soon and the lineup will be announced, but we do know that it's a multi-day event over the course of that weekend, and all will be held within venues within the municipality of the rural city of Wangaratta.
Thank you.
No other questions? No other questions, I'll put the motion. Sorry.
Just curious, is there a likelihood of the WPEC being used as one of the venues? Or are they going to be all
No.
outdoor venues?
Not this year. They won't all be outdoor events. They're looking at having one at a pub hotel like they did last year, which I imagine will be a combination of indoor and outdoor, but the major event itself will be an outdoor event. So the Saturday event will be outdoors. So
Do we know a location?
so we're still looking to confirm that, to lock it in exactly. So but it will be somewhere within the CBD precinct area. So yeah.
Good, thanks.
Anyone else? No one else? I'll put the motion. Those in favour? The motion is carried. Being no further business for the meeting, I'll now declare the meeting closed.